Hi folks, Don Bailey here. Well, we were just laughing about a couple things that the guys were telling me about. You know, there's a couple of Don Baileys out there. Don't get me confused with the naked Don Bailey or the one that's got the brother by the name of Chuck, because that's not me. Right, Glenn? I mean, you're going to be involved with that. Anyway, okay, so here's a part that went down on one of our machines. Remember, this is a simulation. We really don't have this situation going on, but we're kind of making this up as if this were a manufacturing company that's maybe auto-related, and they're producing 100,000 parts a day, and a friggin' machine went down, and now they got to fix it real quick. So this is a part that failed, and what we're going to do is we're going to make two of them. One for a Band-Aid, so we could get the machine up and running like right now, and the other one that will be sent out to heat treat, and we'll probably come back in a day or two. So the first thing we need to do is select the right material. And in this case, we know that the thing to make it out of is 01. We know this is 01. In fact, it's even color-coded on the back here. That's one of the steel company's codes to indicate what the material is. And we're going to take this 01 and we're going to take it in the back here. We're going to show you the spark test. The spark test is one way to tell what the material might be. Again, it's not foolproof. But we know that 01 has kind of an orange colored spark to it, where cold rolled or mild steel doesn't have as much carbon in it, and therefore it's going to spark lighter. So it's going to spark almost a brighter color. So let's go out back and we'll show you what it looks like. We're going to give it the spark test. Let's go, Glenn.
All right. So in selecting the steel, we wanted to make sure we had the right steel. We didn't want cold roll because you can't harden it with oil. We wanted 01 or oil hardened steel. So one way to check, and it's not scientific, folks, it's a rough idea. It's something that the heat treat guys do, and I'm not a professional heat treater, but being a tool maker and being around it, I've been in a pinch where I tried to figure out what kind of material we had. So one way to do it is what we call the spark test. With 01, the sparks are going to be darker. With cold rolled or mild steel, you're going to see a lot brighter spark. So let's take a look at it on the grinder and see what it looks like. That's one of them. That's the other one. Let's do it again. All right, one's darker, Glenn. Which one do you think is the oil hardened? The first one or the last one?
Second one.
That's it. That's our oil hardened. That's one way to tell. And again, it's not scientific, it's not dead accurate, but it'll give you a good idea as to whether you've got two pieces of cold rolled or maybe two pieces of 01. So that's how we check it to make sure we got the right steel. Well, we had an issue with the machine back here, went down, and I'm not going to show you the existing part of the existing problem, but it was a wear pad, and we've got some production we have to run, and we're going to shut the line down. We don't want to do that, so we decided to make a couple of replacement parts. We have two of them here. Why two? We only need one. The one's a Band-Aid. We need to get this baby up and running right now. Problem with it, it's soft. It needs to be hardened. So we're going to show you how to heat treat the part, and this other one, we're going to send that to heat treat to get it done the right way. So again, one is a Band-Aid, one is a permanent fix. So we're going to show you how to heat treat it. So we've started with our fire extinguisher. Don't need a fire. Don't expect one, but you don't normally expect a fire. Welding goggles, gloves, oil. Why oil? Because it squeaks. Right, Glenn? Yep. Wrong. Doesn't squeak. No, it doesn't squeak. We're going to dip it in oil because the material that we have here is called 01 or oil hardened steel. So we get it red hot, we dip it in there, and we can harden it. We can put it on the machine now, but it's soft. Will it last? It might. But will it last a couple days? It might. But let's do it the right way. We'll show you how to heat treat it. So we're going to get started. Put on the protective gloves. Get the goggles in sight. Torch. Igniter. Now we're going to get this baby pretty hot. When you're setting the torch, see that flame wicking out there like that? We want it so it just breaks loose a little bit. So we're going to pour the heat to this thing. I like that. All right, we're going to heat it up. Don't need to set that on fire. Now in applying the heat, the thin part down here where the step is will get hot first. So we don't need to be putting the heat on that. We'll focus the heat on the rest of the body. I like to keep the torch 90 degrees to the part. You do this, the heat bounces off. You do this way, you get better penetration. You see it's starting to glow. We're getting red. We want this baby bright red. We don't want it cherry red. Let's get the heat even all over. Oh, I love it. Look at that. Hey, what do you think of that, Glenn? All right, watch this when we put it in the oil. You ready? Don't need the torch anymore. I like to stir it around a little bit to get that part saturated with the oil. That's why we don't smoke. It's not good for you. All right. Now we got to try to find it. Let's have a smoke again, watch. Not bad, a little bit. There it is. Now, as you can see, it's black. And again, plain ordinary motor oil. You can use other oils, but again, you have to be careful with the type of oil that you use because it could flame up. But we know that motor oil is all right. We've done it before, so it works fine. Now I'm going to show you something else. How do we know that it's hard? We really don't, but I can give it the file test. I don't know if you can hear this or not, but listen carefully. See that kind of dull sound? This one will be different. Right. And it doesn't come off. All it does is ruin the file. So we know that it's hardened. Now, we don't know how hard it is, but we know we want it to be somewhere in that 55 to 60 C Rockwell scale. Now, for those of you that don't have a Rockwell tester, the file test will give you a pretty good idea whether it's hard or not. We happen to have a Rockwell tester, so we're going to take it in there and we're going to check it out. We're going to see what it says. So let's go out to the quality control room and give it a check. All right, so here we are in our QC room. Now remember, we just heat treated this one. You see the scale on the back side there, Glenn? Yep. Remember that is oxidation, right? Yep. So I broke the scale here because you need to do that before you give it a Rockwell test. So we have two pieces here. Both of them O1. This one's soft. This one's been heat treated in our magic heat treat factory out there. So we're going to show you what it looks like in the soft scale. You probably won't even get a reading on here, but we'll give you an idea anyway that it is soft. So we're zeroing in the scale here. Let it go through its cycle. Okay, we're going to pull the lever back. And we're showing about 17 or 18 on the C scale, which is dead soft. So now we'll take the one that we've heat treated Give that the magic test. You remember we talked about there's another way to do it too. You can check it with a file, which we did out there in the factory. That's coming in at 59 Rockwell. So there's a good example of how you can heat treat something in an emergency. It's not scientific, folks, but remember, if you're in a pinch and you need to get it done, one way to do it, blowtorch, can of oil, off you go. Hope that was informative, and thanks for watching.